And the other is it also gives us the opportunity to go at, once we get the landscape project done at the train station, to then reapply to DOT for other ICE-T funds for Lincoln Place. So we'll get into that next grant round. We've got to finish the one project or we lose points.
Yeah, as we heard, you know, the sewer line needs to be replaced at some point. It's not imminent to go ahead with.
You wait till Christmas.
Right, yeah, that's right. We'll stand there on Christmas Day and draw straws. So to go ahead with this without knowing what the full plan's going to be, it would not be smart. So we need to know what the full revitalization of Lincoln Place will be, and then progress accordingly in future years.
So we just free up 100,000, right?
200.
No, 100.
100 comes out of electric
100.
utility
Right,
capital, so that really doesn't count.
it's sort of a separate, right.
Wait a second, John. Elevators use electricity, right?
I knew someone was going to come.
I like that. I like your thinking, Dad.
So we can turn the elevator into cogeneration every time it goes up and down.
There you go. Pump the water.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
How about air?
Recreational improvements. Rosedale, Dodge, and turf fields.
What's the number again?
It's your baby.
It's the Rosedale, Dodge was around 68,000, and the revitalization of the Rosedale was, I think, up to close to 300,000. If I remember the number.
Dodge was 60 and Rosedale Field is 340,000.
I can get it back.
I mean, I don't want to be cute on the issue. Thank, I do have that, I just like making people say that. I know.
I don't know who we're waiting for.
I had a couple of questions, but Robert left the room.
Oh,
I think he just probably went home. No, I think
he's crying.
They're gonna hit me with a question, I gotta get
he'll
out
be
of here.
back.
Wait for the elevator.
He'll be back momentarily.
I'll do that. Teeth for the nose.
Well, Mayor, have we explained in public session previously what these, what would be done to these fields? Or is that, we have covered that, okay.
These improvements to these fields are recreational improvements, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
Drainage, turf management, turf restoration.
Is there criteria that are needed or to be needed if we used the fund that specifically was there for open space recreation and historic preservation?
No, there are competing demands for the same pot of money, and I think that will be part of the discussion in the executive session, but it would be an eligible expenditure either under general capital improvement or under the open space trust fund, with the proviso that the qualifier that starting January 2010, we have an interest payment that has to come out of the pot, and then in January 2011, we start annually amortizing debt to pay off the acquisition cost, the bonds for the acquisition cost of the 49 acres, which will exceed the annual collection. But we have a current balance in the open space of about $1 million approximately, excluding this year's collections of about 430, and we'll obviously collect another 430 next year.
Let me just clarify that. We began this year with $1,074,000.
Right.
We have commitments for $16,000 for the New Jersey Land Conservancy, $9,000 for Bailey Ellard Field rentals, $97,000 from T&M Associates Consulting, $49,000 for the MRC fence.
And that number might be reduced now?
$94,000
Right.
for the interest due January 2010, add 421,000 for this year, the unencumbered balance would be $1,230,000.
1.2, Robert?
Yes.
1.2?
But it doesn't have Green Acres 300,000 that they owe us.
Right.
So, from 2008, obviously it's a collection issue, but it's outstanding, we have an award letter, and it was funded, and it was appropriated. So, it's there, it's just a question of extracting it from the state.
I mean, what do you want to do with this?
I'm opening it up for suggestions here.
And is it an item that we're better off deferring
Yes.
for a while? I mean, and not an extended period of time, but I mean, is that
I mean, yes, you could, for this year, you have some money in the Open Space Trust Fund, but you do not want to deplete this trust fund because you want to maintain dollars in there, not only for any other acquisitions that might be historic in nature, environmentally sensitive in nature, protection of our wellhead sources, and leverage, other grants.
To clarify, I think I was just talking about deferring the discussion.
Yeah,
Okay,
can we-
all right,
Not
okay.
necessarily,
Okay,
yeah,
All right.
not necessarily.
I'm just deferring the work.
Not necessarily using the word deferral to make a decision
Okay.
with respect to the proposal.
okay.
Sorry.
I was going to suggest if we can put this on a future council meeting to finish the discussion for this item.
All right, let's make sure everyone has no more questions regarding this.
I mean, because this is.
And they're actually, those three items here, 2 are maintenance, current fields, the 1 is a future thing, and maybe that's.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, I may want to be a buzzsaw on this one, but it wouldn't be the first time. So what the hell. I'm not sure that, I couldn't go along with doing the 60 for Dodge.
Yeah, that's,
And putting that on the books from now. I mean, I don't think it's the type, it's first and foremost, it's work I think we'd all agree is long overdue and work that we have discussed in a couple of different capital cycles. 2, the amount of money, and my recollection is that this is a real solid estimate of the cost for the work that we need. So it's not like we're committing to a $60-odd thousand project with some kind of trepidation, because on the back end, maybe another $75,000 of change orders that blow the budget on us. But, I'm not, how about if I even say it affirmatively, that can we commit to the 60 or 68,000, whatever it was, for the Dodge renovations?
And then actually, I guess in our meeting with T&M the other day, it actually might be less because it depends on how bad the
Once they-
drainage is
Once
around
they
the
scrape
field.
under the surface
And
and figure it out there.
moving portions of that track area. That's kind of, what I call low-hanging fruit, so I certainly could agree on that. Rosedale, this is, obviously, it's a mud pit, an ankle breaker, but it does prepare the fields, I think, as Dan asked once before, were you to, for some reason, want to put the artificial turf on that field, the drainage is the same system regardless of what kind of surface it is. The subsurface is the same system, which would greatly alleviate the condition there and get better use out of a existing field.